All right. We're gonna obviously have the tier list here. You guys seen it, and I have the superior Jujutsu Kaisen website, jjkppdb.com. JJKPP wiki sucks. All right, nobody likes that website. Holy, that website sucks. So, and the reason I have these is specifically just in case there is something specific I want to talk to you about, which will only reference for one character. So, I'm only gonna be talking about the anniversary. Okay, I know technically there were more anniversaries in global, right? Like they released. Dude, the anniversary was going on for like 4 months for global. There was this green Nanami that came out, this yellow Yuta that came out. Technically, this EG came out, and this Kenjaku or Kamo. Technically, that was all considered anniversary for global because they had anniversary for Nanami, and then this guy too, bro. Yaga too. So technically, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 characters released this anniversary. You know what? Yeah, honestly, yes. I hate global enough that I'm actually gonna rage, and let me add them to this tier list. Okay, before we get to it, look, guys, the 1.5th anniversary celebration is officially live. This was in May 2020 or 22, guys. May was 1, 2, 3, 4 months, man, or roughly 3 months ago. And oh my god, dude, holy, this anniversary, the global is I'm such a hater of global, guys. I'm such a hater, man. Oh, I hate global and what it does to this game. Anyways, we've added technically all of anniversary characters. I don't think Red Momo counted as anniversary. So we didn't add her. If I did, she'll probably be around B tier, maybe A tier. Anyways, we added them all, so let's actually now finally get into this tier list. Holy. Oh, I hate global. Okay, so starting from you know what? Let's start at the... Oh, damn, I want to look at the start at the top, but top is like Glaze Fest. It's just pure glaze. You know what? I think that's okay. Sometimes you gotta start with the good part. But Red Mojito, absolutely fantastic character. He's a debuffer, hybrid damage, and good break, and good sub DPS. There's no character in this game that can replace what this Red Mojito provides, which is the debuffing of damage dealt onto enemies, great break damage, and great hybrid damage. There's no replacements to him. You can't look at the JJK red color at this current time on global. I'm sure on JP maybe there is one, and be like, oh, if I don't have this Mojito, I can substitute him with X. That will never happen. So you have to get this Mojito or you don't have him at all. 0.2 Gojo, fantastic blue physical. The only other character on his tier blue physical is probably Miguel, who's better, I would say. I'd rather have Miguel over this Gojo, but I don't know when the celebration will come back for that Miguel, and there's no guarantee you will even get Miguel because Miguel is usually featured with the red Yuta and blue Geto. So with 3 characters featured, there's a lower chance of getting Miguel, obviously, because he's now competing with the other characters for your pull, compared to this Gojo, who's the only featured on his banner. So you have, in theory, a higher chance of pulling him. And he's great. He does great physical damage. He debuffs crit rate for their bosses. So if your team uses like Yuji, for example, Yuji will have a higher chance of debuff or black flashing because of the crit rate reduction of over 90%. And he also gives break damage to enemies. You know what? I just pull him up here too. Why not? I usually don't like doing this, but we're not going to talk about it too hard. Break damage, crit resistance. Just ignore that. It's at like really low because it's at level 1. And importantly, he can be used off color with ult gauge reduction floors. So there's certain floors in the game that give you a debuff of ult gauge if you're off color. So like you can't farm ults on characters that are not on color. But this Gojo on turn 12 forces him to ult. And when he ults, he will stun the boss, which is really good, and give 150% damage ticket increase to the boss. A great debuffing overall, just a good character to have. He's very important simply because he's a physical character, and physical in Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Parade for blue is really bad. Your only option is really like nothing. If you don't have a Gale or 0.2 Gojo, you're kind of just on prayers. Because even what's it called? Miwa is hybrid damage, and in the future, I'm sure they're gonna add reduction to hybrid damage at some point. So if you need, like, I'm rating it based off assuming the game will be annoying and reduce, like, you have to use pure X, Y, and Z, you know, pure physical, pure curse, or pure hybrids only. I know that sounds weird for how this, but I think the way how this game calculates the hybrid damage is not the same as the other damage reduction. So, like, if curse technique is 100% reducted, then hybrid will not be 100% reducted, even though it has curse technique in it. I don't know. That's just something other people have told me. I don't really know too much about it. But yeah, just for pure physical floors in the future, you want this character. As simple as that. You just want this character. High damage, high physical. Curse technique, he's useless. And don't bring this guy for curse technique uses. Like, you're actually just wasting your time. He has one skill for it, and it's okay damage. It's okay. It's not that great. Alright, blue Nobara. Once again, there's almost no substitute for her. The only close substitute would be this blue Sukuna from all the way back then in this game. This Sukuna. And what I mean by replacements, I mean AoE curse technique. And obviously Sukuna has AoE curse technique here. He has laceration, which Nobara doesn't have. But this character is kind of aged out already. He's been gutted. The game has specifically added like a little trait that says if opponent is hit or if the boss is hit by laceration, they heal like infinitely. So this Sukuna here who adds laceration will literally heal the boss more than he'll do damage. And he's also just not that good of a damage dealer, if I'm being honest. His damage has fallen off in terms of numbers, just pure numbers. Like, he will not do enough damage for what you would want without heavily like massive support for this character. Like, if you bring massive supports. But at that point, any character would look good. Like, if you can make Sukuna look good, you can make almost every other character look good. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like on the tier he's at. The only other candidate is maybe Blue Yuta. But Blue Yuta is purely single target only. He has nothing in his kit that's AoE. Right, selected enemy. This one's just stat buff. Selected enemy and selected enemy. So what I believe the game's direction is going to is pure AoE focus. As there's so many characters now that we have that are single target that they're probably going to be multiple bosses now, like bosses with two bosses in it, just to combat how 99% of the the characters are single target only, just to be annoying, just to force people to summon for newer characters, right? It's like the easiest way to do it is like, hey, look, all the best characters right now are currently single target. Let's just make it so they have to use AoE. And then make all new characters AoE. So that's why I rank her really high. So, but if you have Blue Yuta, if I gamble wrong on my belief on how this game will be balanced in the future, you probably don't even need her. Like, she would be close to here if you have Blue Yuta, which I do. But because I believe the game is going towards an AoE direction, she is probably really required or heavily needed. And she's just pure curse technique, guys. I'm not gonna explain it too much. She just does AoE curse technique damage. She doesn't buff anyone on her team. She's a solo like DPS, pretty much. Oh no, she debuffs right here. Okay, nice. She debuffs. That's cool. All right, never mind. She debuffs. But yeah, so there's no replacements for her, if I'm being honest. I believe, like, if you disagree with me, you think the game is not gonna go AoE focused, then don't summon for her if you have Blue Yuta. If you don't have Blue Yuta, summon for her because you literally have no other option. It's either Blue Yuta or Nobara. Pick your poison, right? You either have one or the other. If you don't have either, you're cooked on curse technique floors. Unless you have Sukuna. Sukuna will save you. maybe, who knows? Same reason for this blue Yuji here. Blue physical is really bad. Like, if you look here, unless you have Miguel and 0.2 Gojo, if you have both of them, you don't need this Yuji at all. Like, this Yuji is actually useless pretty much to you. Unless you want to just feel good about your life, then you don't need it. If you have Miguel too, then you don't really need this Yuji. If you have 0.2 Gojo, I think you do want this Yuji still. But Miguel, you don't need it because Miguel is a buffer. And blue stat buffing has been kind of a little bit more lenient on the reduction for floors. Like, other floors were reduced by like 90%, but blue will reduce by like 60%. So Miguel still has a use, even though he's a stat buffer, right? Like, even if it gets reduced a little bit, he still can be used because 60% is not that big compared to 90% or 80%. So if you have Miguel, Yuji's not needed. If you don't have Miguel, I think it's worth getting this Yuji, even though this Yuji has to be A3 to really see value, like really good value from him. I think just because blue physical is so bad, it's so cut and dry, like they literally they're not fed pretty much, right? And we don't know when Miguel will come back, as I mentioned. We know 0.2 Gojo is coming back, obviously, and I obviously rate 0.2 higher than this blue Yuji because 0.2 Gojo at A0 provides way more value than this Yuji will at A0. But I still think you should try to get him. I personally am summoning for him. I'm about to pity him. I'm not going to pity him until I get Nobara first because I like Nobara as a character. But once I get Nobara, then I'm going to go back and pity this character. I'm also going to pity Nobara. I already know that JJK devs are going to make me pity her too. Okay, I'm in their minds, bro. I'm in their minds. But yeah, he's just pure physical. Like, he needs to be A1 at the least, I would say. Hopefully, if you can. If you summon for this Yuji, please have like the A1 crystal on the sides, the universal thing. If not, A0 is perfectly fine too. But yeah, so that's the reason why I would summon for him is no Miguel, summon for this guy. You have Miguel, ignore this guy. Don't give him a single cube. 20 tickets from the event, login, whatnot. That's all you need. Green Toto, once again, another S tier pick. I highly recommend him. He is by far the best in terms of numbers, like damage output, the best green DPS. Obviously, he's only physical, so you know. But if you put like Curse Technique Gojo, Team Gojo versus this physical Toto, this Toto will do more damage more consistently at a faster rate than the Curse Technique Gojo. But obviously, you can't run this guy in like a Curse Technique resistant floor. Don't think too hard, guys. All right. Please, bro, don't obviously use a little bit of sense. But he is insane, guys. I'm telling you, every physical floor from now on will be easy unless they purposely target this character in some shape or form. Like they say, whenever you're in counter state, the boss heals 1,000,000 times and they get 90% damage reduction. Because he's consistently always in a counter state with his skill 2. Like, I don't know. If you Black Flash, then we cripple you. Like, they would have to purposely target him, and you'll look at it and be like, okay, really? Because countering also works for Green Miwa, but it's gonna be for this Toto. It's not because Miwa is gonna do so much damage. It's gonna be for Toto. Like, I'm telling you guys, his numbers are off the chart with this guy. A1, of course, it's off the chart. I think A0 is pretty good too, but I think A1 specifically, you're like, wow. Like, he feels like an A5 character when you have him A1, I think. That's how much damage he does. Obviously, there's RNG if he Black Flashes or not. If he doesn't Black Flash for you ever, I don't know. But he's also really easy to pair. Like, you get this Cooling Game Yuji, you got him for free. Boom. Right there, 2 characters who work off of each other. Toto stat buffs him and his partner, who will be the Yuji, obviously. And boost Black Flash. So we have damage dealt buff and stat buff right there. Boom. Easy. All you need now is a debuffer of some kind, which you can get from Green Megumi if you want. You can get it from Geto, who's standard, who's been standard for a long time. You can get it from this Chosa, who's now standard too. You can even get it from, I mean, she's a stat buffer too, but Miwa's still not bad, right? We need more stats, right? More stat buff, right? Like, You just need one stat debuffer. Gaku if you want for AoE. Obviously, Gaku's kind of a fraud, but you could run this Megumi, this Gaku, this Geto. He's so easy to set up for new players. If assuming you logged in and you got the calling game UG, and if you didn't, sorry for you. You're gonna have to use the OG one, I think. Where is he? Right here, this guy. Still not bad. Obviously not bad. I think he's still clear all towers, just not as good. Not this good. But like I said, probably the best purely numbers wise green DPS at this moment. And then Kamo or Kenjaku, I'm just gonna call him Kenjaku because there's two Kamos in this game, and saying Noritoshi Kamo is really annoying to say. So Kenjaku, probably the best Jujutsu red DPS by far, and the only replacement you could in theory have is Red Yuta. But even Red Yuta is showing signs of aging, in my opinion, at this point. Like, Yuta's main damage is only from his ult, and then his skill 3 afterwards. But Kenjaku, because he's so purely curse technique focused, that he's pretty much, and he's debuffing, I'm pretty sure he has debuffs in his kit. I mean, I'm just gonna do a quick look for me. Yeah. So he's debuffing, and he's a damage dealt character, or, you know, DPS. He's really good. Like, very obviously just a luxury character. You get him, you'll feel it like immediately. You won't regret summoning for this character at all. It's just simple as that, guys. It's like the Nobara. But he actually is better than Nobara, I would say. It's just Nobara fills a niche. Like I said, at least with Kenjaku, you could use Red Yuta as a replacement. Red Yuta obviously is aging, but like I said, Nobara has no replacement, no like really good replacement option. But that's S tier. Let's move down to A tier here. Green Megumi. So the easiest way I can explain Green Megumi is if you are running hybrid damage. So like, let's say you're running this anniversary character, where is he? This guy here, who does both physical and Jujutsu damage, then this Megumi is pretty much for you. He's like he's basically Gakuganji skill 3, except he's cooler and he does damage. Gakuganji does 0 damage and is there for pure vibes. Yeah, so in comparison to Geto, who you would use instead of this guy, Geto has skill 2 and 3 that separate his physical and curse technique. So if you're running like I said, hybrid character like that green Nanami will only benefit from one of the debuffs, right? Like, he will only benefit from either the curse technique or the physical one. You can't have both. Unless you do skill 2, skill 3, skill 2, skill 3. But that's like, it doesn't make sense, right? Like, Geto is purely designed for either curse technique or physical only debuffing. But this Megumi here does both. Yeah, right here. Does both green and Tai Jutsu and Jujutsu. Damage received in general, just generic. Pretty good. And then here another Taijutsu and Jujutsu. So he's basically like a debuffer. That's pretty much it. He has pretty good damage from what I could tell. The only difference I could see between the Megumi besides the old gauge is that Geto here is at least hybrid damage. Right, combined damage of both Taijutsu and Jujutsu. So this Geto can be used on both physical and curse technique floors, while Megumi can only be used on curse technique floors because he only does curse technique or Jujutsu. So that's it. If there's like a floor that's like resistant to it, but I mean, I think his debuffing is just so much better anyways. Like, I think it's literally higher numbers. 150. Just look at compare one stat to the other. 150. Yeah, so he has way better debuffing. Actually, I don't know. 20, let's just say like 40%. 40 times 4. 120, right? Because 40 times 4, right? 4 times 4 is 120, yeah. So Megumi not only builds up faster because it's 3 turns and 50%, but he has higher numbers, and his ult actually also keeps it going. The Geto ult doesn't have any debuffing in it, I don't believe. Yeah, just But he does have break damage increase, which is really good. But yeah, so that's the only real difference is you'll use Geto if you want break damage and like the floor is resistant to Jujutsu. But other than that, this Megami is just better. Like he replaces every stat debuffer in the game, pretty much. Which is why I have him in A tier, because like I said, S tier is mainly for characters that either perform so well that their substitute don't matter. Like you'll feel like a massive gap between the substitutes, or they have no substitute, right? And this guy obviously has a substitute. You could use Geto perfectly fine if you want. This yellow Yuta. I know this is gonna be a shock to some people. I personally hate using this character. God, this character is so annoying to use. The build up to 15 crits. Oh my god, I hate this character. Oh my god. So, does he have any replacements? No. If I'm being honest with you, no. The only reason I don't like him is because he feels so horrendous to use. He's good. He's hybrid damage, good break, fast ult fill if you use the Curse School or Curse Spirit Academy / Like-Minded Sister Memories. He has high crit, but if the floor is stat reduced, this guy will not actually crit as much as you would want, because they can reduce your crit boosting here from his skill 1 all the way to like 2%. So he has like at most 6% crit rate increase. That's like nothing. And then his crit enhance will also be reduced to like 20% or 15%. Like, so the floor is where you, so I heard people say, oh, well, this guy buffs his own stats. It means you could run debuffers. I mean, if they reduce stat buffing, his stat buffing is useless anyways. Like it's not useless. Like it will obviously multiply and give you higher numbers, but it's not like as big as like I don't know. It's not as big like as I think. I feel like you can ignore it. Like it doesn't really matter, but it is there. So you pretty much want to run debuffing with him. But if you run a floor that's all debuffing, or like if the floor is debuff resistant, I guess he just has higher numbers. It's not bad. I'm glad they gave it to him, but it's whatever to me. It's just really annoying to hit crits. If you don't hit crits, then you pretty much just gonna have to restart. Like, I wish he gave himself like, I mean, he has high crit rate, but I feel like this guy doesn't crit ever for me. He just won't crit, dude. Like, the only time he crit is on skill 1. If I skill 2 or skill 3, this guy doesn't crit ever. I don't know why. I don't know, but he's been single-handedly horrendous for me to use. I hate using this guy so much. I used him on every floor, every yellow floor, and I just hate it so much. It's so miserable. B tier, Aura Gojo. The only, well, it's global 1.5, but I think for JP is 2.5. Anniversary character that's this low. And the reason I say that is simply because Yellow Shoko exists, and I don't... Gojo doesn't replace Yellow Shoko. He enhances Yellow Shoko, which is really funny to me. Like, if you have Yellow Shoko, this Gojo is pretty good, is way better. So he needs that partner, right? But he's a stat debuff, or he's a stat buffer, and if the floor is stat buffing resistant, I don't see what this guy offers. This is like my please summon, if I'm being honest. Like S tier is like please summon. Please do. A tier is like if you want luxury, you know, they're pretty good. They fulfill a purpose. B is like pure luxury, like you. I don't think you'll like win any new floors that you were struggling at before. Get this character, then it'll be like a walk of cake for me. No, these guys. Maybe this red Yuji will be, but I don't think so. And that's a great segue to talk about him. And the reason why I don't think this red Yuji is that good is, and Toji exists. Toji is still really good in this game. This guy has survived the, I don't know, the end of time. High crit rate, he debuffs enemy crit resistance, high damage. His numbers aren't slacking in the slightest. AoE too, right? Yeah, like, I'm telling you guys, I believe this game is going to go to AoE centric. I hope I use that word right, but AoE like focus. And the fact that this guy's AoE is already here, bro. He's already prepared for it. You know, all the red target DPS like that Yuji earlier we just looked at, who's single target. Nah, this guy is him, bro. This guy is him. I don't know. So that's the only reason why this Yuji isn't that good. It's simply because the competition for red physical is so high demanding. So it's the same reason why this Kenjaku is so highly revered, in my opinion. It's because curse technique in red is probably its weakest thing. Red UG is good. It's just simply his competition is too high. Sukuna, Fuga, as I call them, Fukuna, I think other people call him too. The only reason he's not in D tier is simply because his damage numbers are really good. If his damage numbers were mid, this guy is going straight to D tier. Maybe even F. The only reason you would use this Fukuna is if, unless he carries you, you are not going to, like, you're going to struggle in the team fights. He's not a team player at all. He doesn't help the other characters on your roster. He's a very selfish character. He's either all in or you're all out. Literally, what were they thinking when they made this character? What were they thinking? I don't know. I genuinely don't understand it. The devs these are not even global devs at this point. I'm questioning JP devs, which I still do. The JP devs are also really weird in this game. And we have our D tiers. Oh, brother, these guys stink. Oh, man, they stink. Holy man.